My coverage of Computex 2017 is brought to you by Be Quiet, CableMod, Vertigear, and EVGA. Go ahead and check out the links below for more info.
How's it going, guys? It's just me, chilling here in my garage.
Okay, congratulations!
Oh no, wait. I'm not in my garage. I'm at the InWin booth.
They call it WinBot, WinBot, even smarter than you ever thought.
You're very weird.
Like, what the hell is this even? Like, what? I don't even understand. Well, actually, the guys at InWin tried to explain this to me, and I still am not exactly sure why it exists, but rest assured there will be a limited quantity of things that you could actually buy. It's essentially a computer case, of course. That's what InWin's really known for, but it sort of turns left or right, and it can take pictures. There's like a pair of cameras at the front of it, which I honestly don't even know where the front is. That's probably the back, actually. So you can hook it up to like an Amazon Alexa unit and do some voice control. You can have it turn based on your voice, take pictures when you tell it to, and then it can synchronize with your Facebook page and upload pictures to social media. So like I said, I don't know why we need something like this, but then again, this isn't really meant to be practical. It's just sort of to show the world just how crazy people at InWin are. Now this thing is friggin' beautiful. The InWin's calling this the Don't Touch. So I think I'm a big fan of the Don't Touch right now. Unfortunately, it's just a concept, probably not going to come to market, at least for now. But the one thing that we're showing off is all of these addressable LED mounting plates behind the SSDs, behind the motherboard, behind the radiator solution, which is pretty much going to synchronize with addressable LED strips in your system. If you were to actually implement this into a more standard case, like the InWin 101 here, I think it would look pretty sweet. I think this is a great idea. Oh, I didn't even realize the power supply has one too. So obviously addressable LEDs is like the new thing. At first it was just RGB, and everyone is going addressable now with Asus and MSI and all the other board partners shaking things up. Look at those fans. I believe the fans are addressable as well. So that's pretty sweet. I give it 6 months before we start to see these LED strips, not just from InWin, but from every single case manufacturer in every single case that comes out in 2017 onward. It's just, it's gotten out of hand, people. It's gotten out of hand. Or has it? So sexy. Come on, light. Give me some of that glow. This is the Gaming Cube A1, and at first I thought they said the GameCube A1. I was like, nah, bro, that name's already taken. But actually, look at this. It's a small form factor, obviously mini ITX. It's got a really nice white finish on the front. This is all about aesthetics here. Sort of have like a transparent base that's kind of unique looking. RGB LED, of course. Looks like it can do a number of different effects. And on the top here, you've got a super, just unexpected, really beautiful wooden finish. Power button to USB 3, audio and headphone jacks, USB 3.1 Type-C, and it looks like you get some ventilation on the right side here. I believe that's a power supply, or maybe that's just no, that's a regular fan. That's an air fan. It's an air case fan, I should say. They're all fans are air fans, Kyle. Come on, get with it. Small form factor power supply. I believe they said it's going to come included. SFX form factor, 500 watt, 80 plus certified, I believe. And I wouldn't be surprised if it's an InWin brand, or it could be OEM. Not sure about that yet. But here's just a look at the internal layout. You of course have room for a full-size graphics card. I'm getting their window all dirty. Hopefully they have a cleaning service to wipe up all my mess. And then we've got the rear fan over there. It looks like a 120. Looks like you might have no room for a 140. Just a 120. 120 is all you get. Deal with it. But the reason I really like this case is because I've seen competitor cases that are about this size that can fit this sort of hardware, but they neglect to put fan options at the bottom of the case for the graphics card. And with limited airflow coming from the front, you really are shit out of luck if you don't have any sort of airflow going to your GPU at that point from that angle. So it's kind of nice that you have the option for two 120s right there. And it doesn't look like there's any radiator support, so in case you were doing some custom water cooling, you might want to look elsewhere. But overall, pretty sweet. Gaming Cube A1, look for it very soon in a store near you. Now you guys remember the 805, right? The InWin 805. This sort of builds upon that. This is the 806. It's one number higher, so obviously it's better. You can see they've sort of taken after this nice little wooden theme here. Again, like we saw just with the Gaming Cube A1. You've got a nice wooden finish that goes all around. It's sort of a seamless, sort of just one piece of wood that wraps around the top and front, and it just gives it a really stylized look. This will go great in sort of a modern home that's way more expensive than the one I live in. But look at this, tempered glass slide panel, but where the hell are the little screws? There's no thumb screws or anything to open this guy. So this is actually a quick release model, or a quick release design that you don't actually need to mess around with the screws, which I really like, because one of the bad things about tempered glass is that anytime you have to remove the panel, it takes a lot of time, and you also risk getting fingerprints on the areas where the screws are. So with this, you get just sort of a nice, clean, elegant, and efficient solution for getting into your system, maybe doing some service maintenance and things like that. Also, we've got plenty of radiator support at the front there. Looks like a 240. No, that's a 280, yo. That's a 280, and we do have some removable dust filters that are magnetic at the front and the bottom, so you get plenty of airflow there. Full ATX power supply, full ATX motherboard support. I would imagine eATX as well. 140 at the back. Is that a one? No, it's a 120. I can't even see. Is that okay? Just confirmed. That is a 120 at the back there. We've got a couple more 120s at the top. Doesn't look like you can do radiator support at the top, but definitely at the front. And it looks pretty good. It looks like there's also some options here for reservoir, pump, etc. Altogether, a pretty solid little system here in the 806. Kind of like just how there's a little bit of space between the wooden panel and the chassis itself. Obviously, this is where a lot of the ventilation intake is going to come from. Beautiful, beautiful. Look at the top I/O here. Look at how clean this is. Of course, you wouldn't expect anything less from the folks over at Inwin. You got the really nice aluminum finish. Even in really high-end cases these days, the I/O is still sort of plasticky, and this gets a lot of interaction with the user, right? You're plugging things in constantly, you're pressing the power button to reset. I usually rarely ever turn my computer off, but some people do. In that case, it's nice to have just a little bit more high-quality finish and material when it comes to the front I/O, and it does match very nicely with the wood finish. God damn, it's sexy. It's so sexy. Now, this is called Mars. This is a pretty interesting concept, actually, and I'm sort of looking forward to maybe trying one of these out back at home. But essentially what it is it allows you to mount this sort of system here to any 120mm fan. It'd be cool if that they expand that a little bit. But for now, you can actually mount this to pretty much any fan in your system. You're basically mounting a fan to another fan. It's like, yo, dog, I heard you like fans, so we put a fan on your fan so you can cool while you cool, that type of thing. But what's really cool about this is that you can sort of position it. It's on this sort of a multiple axes, and if you look over here, you can actually position the fan in pretty much any orientation or position you want inside of your case for optimal cooling. Now, obviously, one of the hottest places in any gaming system is going to be the GPU. So here they've actually configured two of these guys perfectly set to cool the back of the PCB and even where the card intakes fresh air, so that you can actually lower thermals quite a bit. This is pretty sweet, actually. Let me know what you guys think of this design. You know, obviously it's a little bit different. It kind of like is eye-grabbing at first, and it might be off-putting to some, but I think it's a really good implementation if you're just talking performance and cooling. And I really do like the fact that they've even added some a bit more flair with an RGB, or not RGB, but just a red LED here with the red blade. I would like to see an RGB version myself personally. We'll see if they actually oblige, though, in the future. So stay tuned for Mars, once again, coming soon. All right, guys, that's going to wrap it up for my coverage here at the Inwin booth at Computex 2017. I want to say a huge shout out once again to all my sponsors for making this trip possible: CableMod, BeQuiet, Vertigear, and EVGA. Go ahead and check out their stuff in the description below. Otherwise, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.